Let me start with the self-awareness. So, who among you here have the idea of self-awareness? So, the phrase itself or the words itself says it all. So, what is self-awareness? It is people with high emotional intelligence are usually very self-aware. What is meant by being aware or self-aware? It is being able to know what are the wrong things that you've done and the right things that you're doing, or should I say, you know how to separate right from wrong. And of course, you are very capable of knowing what is your strength and what is your weakness. um in line with this, your main point is that you have to know your weaknesses, in terms, or should I say, you have to know what is or what are your weaknesses, in able for you to know where are the fields or where are the things that you have to improve, or where are the things that you have to be better. And also you have to sustain and maintain the strengths that you had, because it is also your advantage or your edge among others. So with the self-awareness, it is your capability as a person to know what are the things that you are lacking and what are the things that you're good at. So enable for us to be self-aware or being aware to ourselves, we have to think, or we have to go outside of our comfort zones in which we can discover new things, new skills, new talents within ourselves. And also enable for us to conquer our fears, like our weaknesses. We really have to be strong, and of course, to really know on how to conquer it, or these or those kind of weaknesses. So that is an or that is um just some points of being self-aware or the self-awareness. Second is that self-regulation. If we are being aware of what are the things that we've done or what are the things that we are doing, we will be able to know on how to regulate those. And that is what we've called self-regulation. It is the ability to control emotions and impulses. People who self-regulate typically don't allow themselves to become too angry, jealous, and they don't make impulsive, careless decisions. Enable for us to do or to provide a specific answer into such situations or problems, or for us to decide for hard and tough decisions. We don't have to decide if we are that much happy or too much happy, nor if we are that sad, because there will be effects after we decide, if our mental or if we are not mentally stable or emotionally unstable. um Also, the people that self-regulates or regulate themselves knows how to control, to minimize, to maximize their feelings or emotions towards a specific scenario, on how to react with that, on how to judge, or on how to critic, or they know how to critic or constructive criticism with that kind of specific situations. And of course, they know how to maximize or to minimize what are the things that they have to do, they have to show to other people, and what are the things that they don't have to. And that two first components of being emotional intelligent are very essential, because if we know what are the strengths and weaknesses that we had, we also know how to minimize and maximize those through self-regulation. After being self-aware or being being able to know how to regulate ourselves and to be aware of what are our strengths and weaknesses. The third one is the motivation. This component is um, very common to the people with high degree of emotional intelligence. They are so-called, or they are very motivated. They are very passionate enough, or they are having that kind of fighting spirit in which no one could really um um off or could kill that, because they wanted it. They, if they want something, they will be motivated, and Because of that, they will do everything just to achieve a specific goal. And that is one strong point that we really have to put, or we really have to bear in our minds in everything that we do. And to add, they're willing to defer immediate results for long-term success. They're highly productive, love a challenge, and are very effective in whatever they do. In everything that we do, according to the Together or the BL series from Thailand, which is entitled Together, as what Sarawat have said to all the BL fans out there, as what Sarawat have said to Tyne, in everything that we do, we really have to put our hearts in it first. Because if we put it or we took it as a responsibility, then we are doing it because it is needed, not because we love it, right? If we if we think that we could really achieve a specific goal, we really have to have that fighting spirit within ourselves. We have to make ourselves better and to be the best versions of ourselves, because at the end of the day we have ourselves. We don't have any other person around us. And of course, if we are motivated, we will do everything passionately. And of course, if we do everything with passion, like what I'm doing, and of course all of you doing, because I know you have your own and specific advocacies, well, you can see it in the results. So as what my research have said, that motivation would really lead a person who is highly motivated to be successful, to be productive, and not just sticks on short-term success. Thus, he or she wanted a long-term success, not just for himself or herself, but for the needs and, of course, for the sake of the people around him or her. So, how to be motivated? Motivation is not just easy as one, two, three, or ABCs. It is a kind of thing that ourselves have to be motivated, nor we don't just have to get motivations from the real situations or scenarios around us. Thus, we have to think of a specific goal we have in our hearts, that to have, or we need a cooperation within our minds. We have to work to, we have to work for, because we want it. And being motivated or motivating yourself, or that thing, or that word called motivation, is not just a thing that you will acquire from the people around you because they will inspire you so that you will be motivated. No, the first thing that you have to motivate, or the first thing that would cheer you up, is you or yourself. You have to listen to yourself that you can do it, and you have to be motivated. And after that, the passion, commitment, love for you, whatever you are doing for the betterment, will have its best outcome. After the motivation and self-regulation and self-awareness is our empathy. This component is one of um, one of the important element of emotional intelligence. It is the ability to identify with and understand the wants, needs, and viewpoints of those around you. With that, you will be versatile. You will be able to know what are the things that other people might not like, on whatever attitude that you had, or you will be easily, or you can easily um, see what is that person's perspective towards a specific situation, or what is that person's attitude, or what is that person's kind of a characteristic. And this empathy, this component is really good according to the book, because it really defines you as a person on how you will accept, or how you will read people, by just seeing them, by just looking at them. And also, people with empathy are good at managing relationships, because you know what are the pros and cons of being with that person. You know how to handle. And to the first component, the self-awareness, because, or for example, that person is lacking self-confidence and you're very bubbly, then you will be matching together, and you will be inspiring him or her to be also like you, and to be confident like you, in which that is the thing that is really a factor that makes empathy a good component, or an effect, or an important component of being emotionally intelligent. With that, people who are very empathic, or people with that kind of component are very good in handling relationships, because they will be able to recognize what are the strengths and weaknesses of other people, especially with their partners. And of course, their circle of friends. And with that, they will be improving oneself and other people, because they wanted also to add. They doesn't want to work just alone. They wanted also to be a part of other people's success. That is why we need to have this component, because it is not just, or no man is an island. Like, it is very overwhelming if we could really see other people also um succeed in their own fields, like what we're doing, or like what we've done or achieved, right? So it is better for everyone to look also for the people around you, especially your friends, and even not your friends. So after, and this empathy is um very effective in terms of listening towards other people and relating to others. They avoid stereotyping and judging too quickly, and they live their lives in a very open, honest way. So people with empathy are those individuals who can even just give a single negative prejudice against people or other individuals that they just met, because they want to know them better, deeper, before they will judge into conclusions. So with that, we will be able to strengthen the relationships around or should I say, we will be able to to strengthen the relationships that we had with other people. So the slide, I think, is yeah. They're not into stereotyping, and which is very good. And with this, with my intervention with this, if we have the empathy, we have to, um should I say, we are, those individuals will not judge easily other people without knowing their sides, without being with them or knowing them deeper, or we don't jump into conclusions even without knowing them. So last but definitely not least, and one of the components of being um, emotionally intelligent is that social skills. It's usually easy to talk to other people. It's easy, or very easy, for us to socialize with other individuals who we just met, or those individuals that we just met in some place or some areas that is not that usual, or for short, the people around us is not that close to us. But then people with social skills are good in um, are typically team players. What is meant by team players? Rather than focus on their own success first, they help others develop and shine. So it is more likely like the empathy, because they wanted not just themselves to be better, to be the best version. Thus, they encourage others to be like other people, or others to be like them, and they don't want to to succeed, not just them, but with their company, together with the circles, or should I say, the circle of friends that they had, or the other individuals around them. It and they doesn't want to really have that kind of success if they are just alone, but they wanted to work together, and of course and that is what we've called the team player. And who among here is a team player? I admit I am one of those, because I don't want my friends to be left out. I am improving, I am into that kind of level of, but then my friends are not growing. So it is a kind of situation that we really have to avoid. It is not important if we, or it is not good that we are just improving within our, or should I say, it is, we're just improving without making other people around us grow. And that is the situation that we really have to apply anywhere, and especially to the group of friends that we had, because at the end of the day, it is not good to see our friends being immature, being not good at this field. We I know, and I admit that we have different, or we have multiple intelligences, but then I want and according to my perspective, and as for me, it is very good to see your friend improving in that field. It is very good to see your friend growing emotionally, spiritually, and of course, seeing them very happy with whatever status they are in life because of you is a very overwhelming feeling. And, and those with strong social skills are typically um, they help other people develop and shine. As what I've said, they can manage disputes, are excellent communicators, and are masters at building and maintaining relationships. Actually, empathy and social skills were just alike. Um, they are, should I say, beings are the social skills. They are very good in um, building relationships because they are good communicators. Like they doesn't want to end up a communication without a very great or a very clear closure. For short, they wanted everything to be clear. That is why they are very good in communication and are masters of building and maintaining relationships. So because you're socially skilled, you will also be a kind of person in which you will be you are that person that doesn't give just prejudice, that doesn't give just, or should I say, can't easily give some insulting words to others, and you know who that person is, and that is the thing that is more or that is important. So to sum up, let me tell you, and can I have your ears for just 5 minutes, I think, to listen up to my story, and I hope that you will be inspired with this. To start with, just imagine a kid at the age of 3. He has his best friend, only one individual, and he loves to watch television early in the morning until late at night and play with his best friend, and of course, sleep during afternoon and having fun together. Little did he know, as he grew up, at the age of 6, he have to be at school. And in that school, there are a lot of individuals. There are a lot of people with diverse culture, diverse personality, perspectives, and principles in life. But then as he grew up and stepped to the high school life, there is the situation that changed him. From being shy, being very person or should I say, self-centered, he changed his perspective into a bubbly one and found because of it. After that, he went to the community where he is living,
Kok 67 sih? Kok 67? Kok nggak 100? Cancel.
in which hygiene and proper or the
Ya wis tak omahku. Ya padha customer pertamaku iku.
he saw a lot of problems regarding of the culture preservation. And with that, he formulated a lot of solutions for them to for them to be able to be united, and the prejudice around that specific community will be ended. After that, as he went to the high school life, he joined the scouting movement, the senior scout movement of the Philippines, and he adopted a specific community for his Eagle Scout project. For now, the community that he had is very hygienic, very knowledge in terms of the proper hygiene, and of course, observes proper and being better or making themselves better for them to be able to be the best versions of themselves. Through the seminars, workshops that specific person or the main character in the story does or did. And that person is now an official Eagle Scout and soon to be an Eagle Scout and to be awarded. And that person is the reason behind the social inclusion of that Muslim community in his area, in which before have been judged negatively by the people around them. And that person proved that that specific community is as safe as the safest place on earth. And that thing or that situation changed the lives of the men. He provided scholarships, he provided hygienic kits, comfort rooms, and better place for them to worship. And of course, that shy individual before made a lot of impact for today, for the tomorrow, and for the future of the kids. And I'm very proud and overwhelmed to say that I changed the lives of my adopted community. And I hope that everyone of you around him or around here using the five components of being emotionally intelligent could really use and could really have that kind of perspective in life, that we could be able to grow together, that we could unite people and change lives, change negative perspectives, and apply those for the future of for the future of their kids and for the future generations. And that person in the story that I've told is a person speaking in front of you all. I may not be that perfect in terms of giving the interventions to my community, but I am really happy to change the lives of the many. And I hope you have also that kind of perspective. That would be all. And I hope that you've learned a lot. And I hope that in the future, we will see each other changing the world, changing our communities, and could improve a lot of lives. Kapon ka.
Okay. What a great presentation, Mr. Rancha. Now we come to the Q&A sessions.
This is the part there that I'm excited because
Okay. So we have a lot of questions here. The first question from the Wilson: how to increase our self-awareness?
for
Because
me,
some people don't really recognize their self.
yeah.
Okay. How to
So
increase our self-awareness because some people don't really recognize their self.
first things first, know what are the things that you can do and what are the things that you can't. And with that, you could really be in terms of or knowing yourself deeper, you have you have to go out of your comfort zone. You don't have just to stick with what are the things that you're good at, and you have to explore more for you to be able to be self-aware, because being aware within yourself is way more better than other people would really just tell you that, hey, you're good at this, you're good at that. And first, as what I've said, you really have to know what are your strengths and weaknesses. Second, know how to be better. Know, or should I say, focus not just on your strengths, but focus more on your weaknesses and able for you to conquer what are the things that bothers you, what are the things that you think you are not good at, and what are the things in the specific situation, or it may be a skill, a talent, or anything that bothers you inside. Those are find a solution or see yourself with this kind of output, see yourself in a better version, and have that kind of perspective that will really make you say at your make you say within yourself that yes, I did it, I did, I conquered whatever bothers me or bothered me before, or the things that bothered me before are the things that I'm good at now. And yeah, know yourself or what are your strengths and weaknesses. Focus on not just or should I say, focus, find a way or solution to to really prove that you're good on your weaknesses and you're good at it. And last is to have that kind of perspective that what do you want in the future, what kind of self are you are you imagining of to be someday. For me, that is just that are some tips.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Ramsha. Hope this answer your curiosity, Wilson. Now we move to the next question. We have a question from YouTube, from David Santoso. Can you suggest how to control our behavior or thoughts when we deal with negative feelings?
Pardon me, please.
Can you suggest how to control our behavior or thoughts when we deal with negative feelings?
Okay. Um, as a survivor of PTSD, yes, to be honest, I have PTSD before. I am very anxious of the things that bothers me, and and of course, I am really afraid of the things that had happened before to happen again. And with that, I controlled a lot of overthinkings and situations in my mind that some other people or some people can't. To control that or thoughts, right, Ma'am Erica, the thoughts.
Yes.
Yes. To control that, excuse me for that. To control that thoughts in your mind, you have to focus on the positive side or look on the silver lining of each situation. Look what is the or look what is the starting point for the solution of that problem. For example, you have that kind of imagination that you don't imagine to, or you can't imagine to happen in real life, but you are dominated with your negative thoughts, and that is why you're imagining that it is happening, and you can just say stop it, but it is going over and over again within your mind. So what are the things, or what is the most important thing, or what are the points that you have to do? First, a thing is that to stop overthinking through prayers, talking to the people around you, and sharing it with other people. But in sharing, be careful with other people who can't understand your situation. For example, you're you're having some trouble with the circle of friends or your family. You really have to share it for you to have an outlet. Find an outlet, and of course, second is to stop overthinking. Of course, before those two steps, you always have to pray with our Almighty God, or to the pure, or to the one whoever we believe. So of course, to end up that, or to control the thoughts that bothers us or bothers you in your mind, to the one who asked that question, you have to focus, as what I've said earlier, look for a silver lining for every situation. Find a specific way or the starting point for the solution. And after that, focus on the things that you are expecting to happen positively, not the negative sides. Reject or remove, according to the summit, to the Mismo Youth Summit 2020, as what one of the speakers have said, really remove the dusts in you for you to become the gold. Okay? I mean, the rusts are those overthinkings, doubts, negativities that you are thinking within yourself. And after that, removing the rusts will turn you into gold, into the best version of you that everyone desires and that everyone likes. And of course, to stop all those things, to stop all those thoughts that running in your mind, into your mind, you have to look for a better future, for a better perspective, for a better you, for you to be able to stop that. Thank you. I hope I've answered your question.
Okay, thank you so much, Mr. Ramshan. Now, here comes another question from Agnita Salsabila. So, I have bad temper and my feelings can be mixed sometimes and can change in short time. What should I do to control it?
Yeah. Can you please repeat the question?
So, I have a bad temper and my feelings can be mixed sometimes and can change in short time. What should I do to control it?
What? Sorry, I can't. The audio is not that loud. Sorry. Can for the last time, can you please repeat it, Ma'am Erica Giuliani?
Okay, that's
Sorry.
okay. So from Agnita Salsabila, uh, so she asked the question that he had a bad temper and his feeling can be mixed sometimes and
Yes.
change a lot. what should she do to control this?
Oh, so mood swings.
Yeah.
Sometimes you will the mood swings that okay. I've experienced that before. So even up till now, every one of us have that kind of mood swings. So with that, we really have to control or how or we have to know what is the right thing on how or what are the things that bothers us. And for example, for a specific situation, you're annoyed, but you don't have to show that you're annoyed. You're angry, but you have to appear happy. And sometimes there are situations in our lives that we are not that happy enough, but we have to smile because we have to show other people that we are still fighting. So for in terms of your mood swings, it is normal. Mood swings are normal, and what you have to do with that to deal with it is that you have to settle for what is the thing or what is the right thing that you have to do for a specific situation. If you don't need to be angry, don't be. Or if you're not, or you don't feel, or you don't want yourself, or you don't feel it to be happy for a specific situation, just don't be happy. So what I wanted to say, or what I'm trying to say, is that um, if you're not, or if the flow of the environment is that happy and you're not feeling it, then it's okay, it's normal. You don't have to go with the flow for you to be, or for you to be belong with the flock or with the group. It is not always um it is not always good to say yes, but sometimes it's always good to say no. No, or don't push yourself to the things that, or for the temper, for the mood swings that really bothers you sometimes. If you're having that kind of low, if you're low tempered, then strengthen or extend your patience. And if you can't control sometimes your emotions, then it is a thing for you to improve. Like on the first component, for the self-awareness, you have to, if that's the weakness that you had or that you're suffering, and that's the thing that you have to focus. Okay, I hope I answered your question, Ma'am Erica.
Thank you, Mr. Ramsha. And we still have two more questions here. The questions from Imam Atmaja. Hello, my name is Imam from Atmajaya Catholic University of Indonesia. Because of the COVID-19 pandemic, we might not be able to be with our loved one and when they pass away. How we deal with that? Or in other hand, what we can do to help people who through that situation? Thank you.
Yeah, it's really hard as of this pandemic. Some um you if some of our loved ones will pass away because of that specific situation, we can't really be with them, right? That is the protocols from the government. And it is really hurtful, and it's really painful for us to see our loved ones pass away without even going to them, without even visiting them through the last days of their lives and in the world. And excuse me, with that, if we will, with that, we have a lot, as the technology or the modern technology brought us a lot of innovations. We can do that. That is the least intervention that we could really have, or we could really um we could really do, able for us not to be that sad, because we can see them on their last appearance in their life, or should I say, excuse me, their last appearance here on earth. But if ever we are suffering that, or we encountered that kind of situation, um, we have to pray for the best of their souls. And of course, if we can't bear ourselves not to see them, we have a lot of ways of communication, um, especially this kind of medium, the Facebook, the Messenger, the Instagram, and a lot more of ways. And with that, if we have the people around us who suffered with that kind of situation also, as what I've said, an ear for every rant matters. We have to listen for them for whatever things that they are saying, for the things that they are sad of. We have to listen because as of now, sadness would really kill a specific person, one's life, and could really waste a life. And that is the thing that we have to prevent so that um, um, with COVID or not, we have to listen to the people around us, not just with the people around our company, but also to the people to whom you know who don't just and who don't have anyone, a friend, a kind of person who will listen, and of course, you have to comfort them in many ways through social media and while following protocols, of course, we could really make a lot of ways to comfort a person. So if that happens, or if that happened, I'm really sorry to open up the topic, but we have to be strong and to move forward and to be not to for us not to be stuck by the past.
All right. Thank you, Mr. Rensha. Now, next question from Karina Patricia. Hello, my name is Karina Patricia from Indonesia. When talk about to find strength and weakness, I feel like it's easier to find my weakness instead of my strength. How to easily find out our talent or our strength? Thank you.
Okay, so she okay. So it's not a negative side, promise. I'm telling you because with that you will be motivated. If you see that as a motivation, if you see your weakness as a motivation, then it will never be a negative side of you because you will be motivated on how to be better, on how to conquer those, as what I've said, and how to really strengthen yourself with that weaknesses. And for me, it is not bad to see your weakness than of your strengths. Or the question that you gave or you asked is that on how to see your strength, right? So with that, you have to be appreciative. You have to be you have to be familiar with the talents that you had, and you have to be um, self-aware or to be aware by yourself of what are the things that you're good at through finding it, and only yourself can tell if you're good at this or you're good at that. It's not always the same situation, or it's not always a big deal if you're finding more time or more if you're looking at your weaknesses than of your strengths, because if someone might someone doesn't know if your greatest strength will be from your weakness, right? So you just have to weigh in. You have just to meet at the center if what will be the best for your thing, or what will be the best for that situation. And one tip: if you're not comfortable with the things that you think you're good at, then find a lot of solution. Just or find or should I say find a way for you to be able to see what are the talents, the further skills that you have.
All right. Thank you so much, Mr. Ramsha, for the answers. Now, I think this is the last question from Ken Dachayo. Hello, I'm Ken. Do you think there is a correlation between intellectual intelligence to emotional intelligence? I've
Ryan?
read an article before saying people with high IQ tend to have a low EQ. What are your thoughts about this? Or in your perspective, how true is this? Thank you.
Hello, Ken. So Ken is from we have the same province, and Ken is also a parliamentarian, and I'm glad to hear that you joined and registered. Hi. So yes, difference. Do you think there's a correlation between intellectual intelligence and emotional intelligence? I've read an article before saying people with high IQ tend to have a low EQ. What are your thoughts about this? Or in your own perspective, how true is this? Thank you. Hello, Ken. So for me, um, yes, we have a lot of variation in terms of what are the things that we are good at and what are the things that we are not, because it is on the principle of multiple intelligences. So for the intellectual to the correlation between intellectual intelligence and emotion, for me it's it's a thing that ourselves can just tell, or if, as what you've said and as what you've asked, um if a person have a high IQ, then they have a low EQ. Yes, it's unpredictable for a person, but it could be learned. Or should I say, if you're not high, if you don't have a high EQ, but you have a high IQ, then that will be considered as your strength and weakness. And some can do both, actually. So for my own perspective, it is somehow complicated because some other people might see themselves being good at it, but in other fields they're not good, or they can perform well. While on the other hand, um, the other person will be good at someone's weakness and will be very strength, or will be very good at, or should I say will be very weak on someone's strength. So it's kind of a what do you call that, it's kind of a situation in which people, or the first person will be good at it and the second will be not. So it's complicated. And if you're asking for the correlation, well, if we will really have that kind of multiple intelligences, then we can relate that too. But on the other hand, other people can do both, and I commend them for that. Have both high IQ and EQ. And since my topic is improving or emotional intelligences, we really have to, as I am repeating again and again, we do really have to be an explorer, for, or should I say, we have to go out from our comfort zones to find whatever strengths that we had and what are the things that we are still lacking in terms of skill or talent or anything that other people might see. Thank you, Ken. Thank you.
All right. So actually we have more questions. So that's not the end or the last question. We here get several questions in the group chat. Okay, a question from Felix Chandra. Hello, my name is Felix Chandra from Indonesia. How does the personality type of feeling which prioritize emotions when determining something? There are some people more prioritizing emotion than logic, so that there is much sorrow. How do you balance your logical personality and emotions? Thank you.
Yeah. We have different kinds and levels of sensitivity. That is why some other people might see, or might be that sensitive, or might be that soft for facing such situations. And that is why we really have to, what did it, like, I'll read the question again. So enable for us to get through the situations. We don't have to be stuck with it. If life is a choice, if we want it to be stuck, then we will be in sorrow, right? So enable for us to go out from that specific situation, we have to move forward. And other people might not be that logical in terms of thinking, but they're into sorrow. But we all know that if we will, or if we will be stuck in that situation, then we can't move, right? And what are the things, or what is the important or the most important thing that we really have to do is to forgive and to forget. Also, we have to be the better versions if we grow, right? After we forgive, we will grow. And if we will be into that situation again, then we will know what are the things that we have to do. And if and it's just an advice, if the circle or a person around you is not that healthy for you to be, or should I say is not giving a stable mental health for you, then avoid them. And it is better to avoid that specific person than to be with them knowing that you will be hurt in the future.
Okay, thank you so much, Mr. Ramsha. Mm, we move to the next questions from Nicole Nikita Novenda. Hi, Mr. Ramsha. I am Nicole from Indonesia, and I was a very interesting presentation. So here's the thing. I dream about being chased by people or animals a lot, and when I Google it, it says that I always run away from my problems. I mean, in real life, I can deny it that I'm that kind of person. But the reason behind it is just so it can make me feel better and to not to be drowned by any negative thoughts of my problems. Do you have any opinions about the best way to face problems? Thank you.
Yeah. As we grow, we encounter a lot of problems. It might be daily, weekly, or yeah, nor problems will be normal as we grow. But facing a problem is a kind of action which is a sign of maturity. And I'm not saying that if you're always on escaping your problems, it doesn't mean also that you're immature. But be bold, be brave, and be more to face your problem, because in the future, the problem that we had as of now is not just in that level. It might be worsened, or it might get heavier. And it is very good for us if at this age we know how to handle those specific situations and how to handle problems within ourselves, because as what I've said, at the end of the day, we only got ourselves, we only got our back. So for you to be able to face such problems, know what bothers you, what is the main reason behind that problem. And of course, if you know what is the reason behind, you will also know and find out the solution, right? So if you ever you are afraid to face those specific problems, then it is way more scary if we will get, or we are getting old without finding a solution for our own problems, right? So it is not I'm not saying that it is bad, because it is your way of it is your comfort zone on not facing your problems. Instead, you are just making a way enable for you to forget them. But as also, you have to face those, because those problems will teach you on how to be strong, on how to be better, on how to be bolder, and it will make you a matured and a better person. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Ramsha, for the answers. Hope it could answers the questions. Nicole. Now we move to other questions from Teddy Septian. The question is, do you have any question suggest how to reach people who is very introvert? Because I've read that very introvert and I know she openly do self-harm. I try to reach her, but she doesn't open that door and still keep her problem by herself. Sorry for my English. Thank you.
It's okay. Um, yeah, I have also that kind of friend that even if you will really push her hard to just um to express her problems or his problems, he will not say anything. That friend of mine is an introvert one, but if you will see him on public, he is a bubbly one. And sad to say, he attempted the suicide, but because we are there on the place where he attempted that kind of situation that we really have to prevent, um, it's very overwhelming to see or to really experience that kind of situation that he reached out with his parents. He told his parents what are the things that bothers him because of them, and what are the things that hurt or the situation that hurts him because of his parents. And one of the things that we really have to do whenever we have some introvert friends, their characteristic is not into like us sharing problems, sharing different problems to other people, or they're not talking publicly, or they're not showing off, or whatever they had in their minds is just within them. So what you have to do is to get closer to them. Yes, that's what you've said, you're close, but he or she is still not opening up her or his problems. But then you have to do a lot of ways. You have to ask his or her parents if what he or she is in their homes, or is there anything wrong with them, with their relationship. And that is the thing, that you have to reach out not only with a friend but also to his or her family, because knowing the backstory or the side story behind a person's personality or characteristic is a great thing that we have to be um, prioritizing, because it is a must, especially when it comes to our friends. And little did he know, we are asking his parents about their problems in their house. And because of that, we knew, or we formulated a specific approach on how to comfort him regarding with that problem. And as his older friend, I treat him always as a kuya, and kuya is an older brother in Filipino. And because of that also, we prevented his manner of ending his life. And that situation for me is a very hard thing, because I don't want to hear any news in line with that, because it is our advocacy. And really, it's hard whenever we have that kind of friend who ended up his or her life without even knowing what are the things that bothers her before or him before. And we have to really be aggressive in terms, or should I say, we really have to be versatile in terms of accepting a friend and knowing the both sides of what bothers him or her. And as for your situation, do what I did. Be close to the family, not only with a friend. And it is not a bad thing. Oh, it is reaching out to the people who really needs or who really needs that specific approach. You can hear the side of your friend. Also, you can hear the side of the people around him or kapon ka.
Thank you, Mr. Ramsha. And I think this is will be the last question, very last question for us. It is from YouTube. Um, the question is how to find a potential thing in ourselves, because in my age, I kind of confused for what I will doing in the future.
Can you please repeat the question, Matt?
Okay. How to find a potential thing in ourselves, because in my age, I kind of confused for what I will doing in my future.
Yeah, I feel you. Actually, in my age today, I'm not still fixed on where am I going to work in the future, or what will be my future. But then I prioritize the things that is very close, or the things that are very close to my heart, which is my advocacy and my public service. For me, you don't have to mind other people or other people's suggestions towards you. It is okay to get suggestions from them, but at the end of the day, you will really be the person who could really decide what is the thing that you're good at. Yes, this topic or this webinar is very effective in terms of that question. What a great question. And it could really help you if you know what are your strengths and weaknesses, if where you are good at, and where will you find yourself hard, or what are the things that will make you struggle. And yeah, you have to know what are the things that you're passionate of. You have to know what are the or what will be your output, um mm, what will be your your rating with that specific skill that you had, and just weigh it in. If you love that but your mind doesn't want to, then don't. And if your mind wants that but your heart is not passionate, then meet at the center. Because at the end of the day, um to be honest, actually, in the Philippines, the K to 12 was just recently applied, right? So instead of getting the humanities and social sciences, the hume strand I got, or I went to the STEM, which is I don't like. So I followed my mind instead of my heart, and because of that, I have a lot of problems that I've encountered. And that is a lesson for me, that you have to follow whatever is the thing that you're comfortable with in terms of securing your future, or you're good at. Um, it is not always exploring new things, but if you're good at that and you think you're settled with that, be the person that will seek more, that you will be a pro to that field. You will be a master of your own field. We have multiple intelligences. We have a lot of diverse perspectives and, of course, opinions in life. But then, at your age, yes, you could really be more. You could be better than what you are thinking of as of now for yourself. Just follow what you're passionate of. Just follow the things that will make you happy in the future, and also value what you had, or what are the skills or talent that you had, because that are the things that will be your, or that are the things that will be considered as your edge. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Ramsha. So that's the end of the Q&A sessions. We still have to
Yeah.
stick to our schedule. So to wrap up things, to wrap things up, I conclude from the presentation from Mr. Ramsha that how to develop the emotional intelligence is by uh, self-awareness. We have to know our weakness and strengths, self-regulations, motivations, empathy, and social skills. We have to recognize our emotions, and it will make have a empathy and motivate us to understand our emotions. And through that, we will know how to develop and maintain good relationship with society. Now, I will be giving back the time to our MC or our host, Sati.
Okay, thank you, Erika. Oh my
Hi.
God. Hi, Mr. Rensha. Oh, it's wonderful. The presentation. Oh, thank you very much, Mr. Rensha.
You.
Okay. Oh, guys. Hello, guys. This is the finally we come to the end of the webinar. Oh, it's so not to feel it's so long and so fast. I don't know. Okay, I asked the presenter, also sorry if there are mistake of bringing in the webinar. And I can say thank you for the guest speaker, Mr. Remsha. And I can say thank you for my partner for the prepare our in the webinar. And thank you for our participants for join our webinar. And before we finish our meeting, can we open your camera? We can make a documentation. Okay, Jack, can you control about it? Jake, are you ready?
Wait.
Okay, wait.
Hello.
Okay, come on, guys.
I am asking everyone to open their cameras.
Yes.
Hi, Leia.
So, okay, is everyone ready? Okay, let's just wait for others first.
Congratulations in
Hi,
advance.
Dariel. So, okay. Eh, let's just wait a minute.
Um, can I have just a minute?
Okay, wait.
Okay.
Hello, everyone. I am very thankful for your presence for the online webinar that the ASEAN Youth Organization had organized. I am very proud to my fellow youth in our province like Jake Padayo, Ken Takayo, and Atilea and Tuma for being with us today, and all above all to all of you. I'm very overwhelmed that you're open for this kind of intervention. Even this time of pandemic, you are rendering your time to this kind of youthful activity in which we really have to maintain for the sustainability of our future. And guys, please do follow me on on my or add me on Facebook. I will just I will be typing my Facebook name, and please like and follow our official page, the You Think and the Youth Focus slash or dash Kilagasan. Thank you very much. I really had a great time with all of you, and I hope I answered all the questions that you've asked. Kapon kap.
Okay. Let's start now. Okay, 1, 2, 3, smile. Okay. Next one. Okay, again. One more time. Again.
Jake,
Okay.
Jake,
Yes. Po.
can we have the official
1, 2, 3, smile. Okay. Last two page, guys, because we're 100 participants here. 1,
Jake.
2, 3.
Jake, Jake, can we
Let's
have
go.
the official or the youth focus official post like this? Can I request you all as a youth?
Okay.
Yes.
Peace. Right.
Okay, I can't do it because I'm holding the monitor. Okay,
Love you, Jake.
maybe just 1, 2, 3. Okay. 1, 2, 3. Okay. Great.
Thank you very much, everyone.
Thank you very much,
Thank you
Mr.
so much,
Resha.
everyone.
I hope you